So hi, it's Editing Sam here. You may have noticed that there's no intro here. That little intro I threw together, unfortunately, is on my old laptop, and it will not open on my new laptop. So I decided that since I'm in the process of making a proper logo and everything for this podcast, that I'm not gonna take the time to reconstruct the little intro sequence. I'm just gonna run with it. So insert placeholder here. Alright, proceed. Hi, my name's Sam. Welcome to the Potager Knits podcast. I'm coming to you here from my little craft corner again. It's, despite being mid to late October, despite being mid to late September, it's kind of hot outside today, getting close to 90 degrees in Pennsylvania here, and I'm not having it. So I will have a clip later of my garden, hopefully, but I'm just not willing to sit out there in a black shirt. This is like a tunic length, so I'm just not feeling sitting out there in this. If the video gets a little shaky at any point, it's probably because my dear son Louie, the cat. So if the video gets shaky at any point today, it's because of this guy, because he really likes to rub his whole face on my tripod. So I'm hoping if I hold him for a little bit, he'll be satisfied, because I just got home and he wants some love. Don't you, little bud? You can find me on Instagram at Potager Knits and on Ravelry at More. You can find those links down in the description, as well as any show notes from today that includes any links to any patterns or anything that I wanted to share with you guys. Just wanted to remind you that the adventure hat is out on Ravelry for sale. Okay, hi. Special. And yeah, the link is down in the description for that. I have some really cute pictures of my dad and stepmom from their Alaska trip that I'm going to put on the pattern page so you guys can see, because they're really cute. Also, my free pattern Romarin is on Ravelry as well. That's just for a crocheted cowl. Pretty easy to pick up the stitch pattern, and I love it. Are you good? Can I put you down now? Oh, you're so sweet. Mwah. So moving on to finished objects. So it's been 2 weeks, and you would think, Sam, you've probably finished a lot in 2 weeks, haven't you? You keep talking about how you're going to finish this and that, and it's all going to be done. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So admittedly, I got a little I got a little bit caught up on this one project, and oh boy, did it take a while. So that project is this. And you may be thinking, Sam, this is a plain black beanie. What could have possibly taken you so long with this plain black beanie? So this was a commission from my coworker, who is actually the absolute asshole, is on a cruise right now and keeps posting pictures, and I'm like, I want to be there. But his request was for a plain black beanie, but with a little bit of a twist. So I went through probably 5 iterations of this with different patterns. I did a brioche hat, which brioche hats are pretty easy, but I think the problem was I was trying to do it too much while I was working, or because I knit during meetings at work. So I would either be doing that, or while I was having conversations with people, and I kept dropping stitches and getting frustrated, because picking up brioche stitches is a pain in the ass, and I can do it, but I was just getting so frustrated that I would get stuck and then unravel the whole thing. I actually got to the point, I was knitting in a bar while we were doing trivia night. I got to the point where I was ready, I was at the crown. I had almost finished the entire thing, and I unraveled the whole thing because I didn't like how it was turning out. And that happened multiple times. I unraveled it 5 times. So I think this is the 6th hat that I knit with this yarn. So I don't remember what the yarn's called. It was that DK weight stuff that I talked about last week. Maybe I'll look back and find out what it is, but it was something on clearance that I found when I was at the yarn store the other day. And then I've held it double with another yarn, and I did, this pattern's called the man hat, which I don't necessarily agree with that name, because gender is fake, but it's a little bit more complicated. Not really. It's like a broken rib, so it's a little bit more than just a ribbed hat, which I like. I like the shape of it. It's a good, solid, like, beanie hat that I've been making for a while. I've made a ton of these for me and my wife, and there's a couple in my, like, bin over there that I have full of stuff to just, like, give to people if I need a gift to give to someone. So, yeah, this was, like, it took me way too long to make this. So long that now I have to wait until after he gets back from his vacation to actually give it to him. But I'm glad for it to be done. Honestly, that was just crazy. My only other FO was actually a pattern test for Spunnomadittyco, that's Sultan, and it is the Sago Cycad hat, I believe it's pronounced. So this yarn I got as a gift from my stepmom, like, and I guess my dad and my stepmom both got it, but she's more of the yarn selector, I'd say. It's from a local alpaca farm called Overhome Alpacas, and it's this really pretty, like, kind of pastel tie-dye type thing. It's hand-painted. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, so it's this, like, pastel tie-dye. I really enjoyed knitting this hat. Like I said, it was a pattern test for Spunnomadittyco. I knit a small slouchy version. So as you can see, it's got a nice little slouch. And yeah, I don't know. This pattern was so nice to knit. It was really fun. I actually learned new techniques for this little patch, which I appreciate. As someone who's been knitting for over 15 years, I know, I'm so young. How could I have possibly? But I've been knitting for over 15 years. So when something like, when a pattern teaches me something new, I always really, really love that. I love learning new techniques. So yeah, this was great. This is so great. I love it. I can't wait to knit another one. I can't wait to knit another one. I actually, this one right here, this like light mauve, like dusty mauve yarn that I got, I think would be perfect for a large size so that it would fit my head. But I had volunteered to knit like whatever size because, you know, I had just finished this very frustrating hat, so I wanted something new to knit. Yeah, so this is gonna probably go into my kid box. I call it my future spawn box. I mean, until I knit another hat, it's staying on this head. I haven't named this head yet, but she's got these cool sunglass things. I just want to have it on display because it's so pretty. But it's gonna go in the future kid box, which I started that like last year, I think. It's basically a box where I've been putting like kids books, and I have a baby blanket that I made in it. And it's either for if my friends have kids or honestly to save for when my wife and I have kids. So, yeah. It'll be perfect for that. This is, because it's a small size, it'll be perfect for a little kid head. So I'm happy about that. So just a quick address that little thing. The little thing. I had posted something on Instagram the other day, kind of in support and solidarity of all the people talking about how they hate being asked why they don't want to have kids. And like my side of that is I get asked a lot of invasive questions about reproduction because I'm a lesbian and I'm very open about how my partner and I would like to have kids. If I'm offering kind of like insight to you about my future plans, I will give you the information that I feel comfortable giving you. And there are people that I will very openly talk about, like, oh, we want to do this, or oh, we want to do that. But like, if I haven't offered it to you, it's because I don't plan on it, or you haven't quite earned it from me yet, quite honestly. So like, even this week at work, like, I made a comment about like, oh, my wife and I are going to buy a house at some point in the near future, and you know, we're hoping it works out, blah, 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 and we want to make sure that we have room for, you know, future kids, that we're going to have at least a room to put a kid in. And it turned into this whole, like, how do you want to have kids? Like, are you going to adopt? Who would get pregnant? Like, that whole thing. And honestly, I didn't want to get into that because it's nobody's business but ours, and we haven't even completely figured it out yet. It's something we've talked about, but, you know, we're not straight, like, head-on confronting that until we're ready to have kids, and we're not even gonna have those serious conversations. We decided not until after we turn 30, so we have a few years left where we just kind of, like, want to casually talk about it and not have to worry about it. So, sorry to get up on my soapbox there, but it's just something that's been bothering me. Like, let me live. Just let me live. So, anyway, Sagosai Cat is going to go into the future spawn box. And I'm happy about that. And I love it. But for now, it will stay on her. And she needs a name. Help me come up with a name for my little head. So I'm going to move to whips and also future projects somewhat, because I keep trying to hold myself accountable to the projects that I've already planned so that I stop buying stuff to knit things. So here's my other little thing. So I want to stop just trying to knit something because it is the current item that, like, everybody's trying to knit. I never really super cared about that, and obviously because I'm knitting a sweater, like the Weekender sweater I guess is kind of a current sweater, but it's like not like that current. Like, I feel like everybody knit it like a year ago. That's probably a terrible timeline, but I've only actually been, like, involved in knitting Instagram since May, which seems crazy because it feels like forever. But I've never super been like, like this new pattern came out and I must knit it immediately, and I really don't want to fall into that because I have a lot of yarn. I have this yarn, I have my yarn down there, I have projects planned. I don't want to rush myself into thinking that I need to finish things because, oh, I need to be able to do the latest and greatest thing. Like, no, I'm going to knit the things that I want to knit, and that's fine. I'm just going to do that and have a good time knitting these things that I want to knit. No one's making me do anything. Actually getting to the whips now. First little mention, so I had been talking about my coffee table, and that is still in progress, but it's kind of slowed a little bit. So essentially what's going on is it's gotten to the point where it's, like, very detailed work, and my friend Jess is a beautiful artist. Like, her paintings are gorgeous and detailed, and I do not have that sense of detail. So I have stepped back, and she has said, hey, you know what? I want to finish this to, like, my standards, so, you know, that's fine with her. And she's kind of giving it to us as a wedding present from last year because we didn't really have a formal, like, wedding thing. So totally love that, but it's gonna be a little bit until that's done. I'm really excited about it, and I keep it under the tarp / shower curtain because, like, every time that I pull that off, I just, like, am amazed by it again because it just looks so cool. So I will definitely be sharing that with you guys once it's done because I'm so excited about it. But that's, you know, there's no deadline on that, and it's still going. She's probably going to come over again sometime soon once we figure out our schedules and stuff, and then she's probably taking it home with her so that she can work on it whenever and doesn't, not that she doesn't want to hang out with us, but, like, doesn't have to, like, lug herself out here and all of her paints out here every time she wants to work on it. She can just work on it in her studio. So that's what's going on with the coffee table. So let's get to the actual things that I am knitting right now. First, here's the Weekender. So I actually did make a little bit of progress. Because I was working on more time-sensitive things, I didn't do that much, but I started a sleeve, so that's something. So, like, last time I had already attached the front and back, and then, yeah, I really want to finish this, so I started the sleeve. You can see my little stitch marker here. It was down here because, yeah, but yeah, got a sleeve started. I love this color so much. I can't wait for it to be done. I'm gonna be so cozy. It's still not cold yet though, so even if I had finished this, I still wouldn't be able to wear it yet, so wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I got a little pine cone guy on it. This was a stitch marker I made. I don't remember where I got the charms, but yeah. I did this again, and now I can't see what I'm doing. But yeah, my little pine cone. So that's my first whip. This one's kind of, like, on the back burner a little bit. Because first of all, Sleep Island. But also, it's not cold enough, and I have something that I want to finish by this weekend. So what I want to finish by this weekend is my Citron cowl. Not cowl, my Citron showl. My Citron showl. Crap, I keep forgetting that this laptop has a touchscreen. So my Citron shawl is in my little socks bag from Tomboy Femme bags. Attention is the beginning of devotion. It's a Mary Oliver quote. So I've been carrying this to work with me. It's perfect. It fits this little project perfectly with the pattern and everything. I keep my row counter on here because I'm knitting on circulars. So, whoops. This has been a labor of love. I definitely love this shawl, but I was having a hard time with it because I was getting bored and I didn't really have a goal, and I've realized now that I do need to kind of set deadlines for myself and prioritize my projects, because otherwise I just knit a little bit of everything and then don't finish everything, and then I feel bad and then feel meh about it. But now that I've given myself a deadline, I want to finish this weekend. I've been really chugging away at it, and I've been loving seeing progress. So yeah, this has gotten far. Oh no, I've got a little bit of a mess on the end here. Gonna fix that. I did shove this in my bag very quickly after work today. So here it is, all crumpled up, so you can perfectly see what's going on. Yeah, my knitting needle is not long enough for this, but that's fine because I only have like, let's see, 14 rows left, so, which are like 14 long rows because it's all along the edge. But yeah, so look, I'm in the last repeat, and then from there there's like a little ruffled edge on the bottom, and then it'll be done, and I'm gonna block it and wear it this weekend to the Lehigh Valley Fiber Festival. So this is my first yarn festival that I'm going to this weekend, guys. I'm so excited. I've never been to one. So I wanted to have something to wear because like people will like knit sweaters to wear to Rhinebeck, and it's gonna be too fucking hot this weekend to wear a sweater, so I'm gonna wear my Citron shawl. Citron shawl. I keep saying shawl. My Citron shawl. I'm going to wear it this weekend. So I'm going to finish it. I'll be there on Sunday, so if on an off chance that anybody I know is gonna be there, come say hi. But if not, I'm just gonna have fun going and talking to people. And there's a lot of really cool yarn artists, yarn dyers and stuff that are gonna be there. I'm going to have to resist spending a ton of money on yarn. I did tell Becca that like if I saw something like exceptionally cool, I would allow myself to buy it. And also notions, because I could always use some new notions. I would like some new stitch markers. I would like one of those like shawl cuffs because I've been wearing my shawls. This one, by the way, is the Gingko Shoulderette. I'll put the link down in the description for that. I've knit this in high school. But since I've been wearing more shawls, I want one of those cuff things so that I don't have to tie them in a knot. And they're cute. So anyway, Citron, almost done. This will be an FO next week. I promise. It will be. And I'm going to toss this to the side and hopefully it won't get tangled. But look how much, I only got this little ball left. I have a whole other ball of this yarn though, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's lace weight, and I don't knit with lace weight yarn, so I'll figure something out. What else do I have? My piton. I have no idea how to pronounce this, and I've been having such a hard time with it since it came out, or since the knit along started. I think it's in here. So I started knitting the piton socks. And it's by shit. Who made this? Grace Anna Farrow. So this I got off Ravelry, the pattern. Sukrita was the one that like had posted about it, and that's like where I saw that people were doing a knit along with it. Yeah, I freaking love this sock pattern. It's so much fun. This was all from one night, and then I like promptly put it in this bag and started knitting on hats, so I haven't worked on it since that one night during Stitch Group, but I did a bunch of it, and it's really beautiful, the stitch pattern. And this yarn is the Rita May yarn. I almost knocked my laptop. This yarn is the Rita May yarns that I got from Fibershare. It was sitting on my shelf and I was like, that would be perfect for this sock pattern. Yeah. Rita May yarn, Sweet Pea sock in Sassafras, which I love that name. Look at it. So the reason I like it, and I don't know if it's showing up on camera a lot, maybe this side has a little bit more, is there's little spots of blue and like orange in it, which I think is really cool. It's different. It's this really pretty purple, like variegated color with little orange and like navy blue speckles in. And it looks really pretty with this pattern. So these are gonna be really nice socks. I'm excited. I was a little concerned size-wise, but I might make them short, like I do all my socks, because I don't really like taller socks. So those are nice. Those are on the needles, and I'll be working on those as like my smaller project once I finish. Like this will probably be, well, I think I might have to cast on some vanilla socks because this is like an actual pattern. Like I can't mindlessly knit it. So either vanilla or Hermione socks I'll have to cast on and take to work with me. We'll see. But I do love this. And I very much want to knit more of it. What else? I have this bag. This is my other Tomboy Femme bag. I love it! So this is my Rift. I haven't really worked on it that much, but I just want to pull it out again because I love it and I want to look at it. It's so pretty. So yeah, this I definitely haven't been knitting on because it's now fall, and to me, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to wear it by the time I'm done with it anyway. So this will be my like last priority for now because I really want to finish my weekender, but once I'm done with my weekender, this will be next in line to like get done. I guess I could probably wear it like over something and it would be fine, but I think it's gonna be a thing that I'll wear next spring. So yeah. Oh no, I dropped a stitch. I saved you. It's fine. I fixed it. It's fine. I did lose a stitch marker though, which makes me sad. I'll find it. So yeah, this is just part of the body of my Rift. That's good vanilla knitting. Maybe I'll take that to work because I'm still just like going around the rounds, and I'm alternating skeins because I needed to. So yeah, that's just been living in my basket for now while I'm working on other projects. So then my last one is also an acquisition, so that's why I put it last. It's this little guy that's sitting here. This yarn is gorgeous, so gorgeous that even though I told myself I wasn't going to cast on anything else, I was like, well, you could always just cast on a bulky project that you'll be able to finish really quick. So here it is. And here is the yarn. So this is Alaskan Yarn Company from Homer, Alaska. And this yarn is Chunky Dot in Ginger Snap. Chunky Dot and Ginger Snap. So there's the label if you want to check them out. I looked them up online. It's like these two cute ladies that live in Alaska. This is also hand-painted yarn from Alaska. My dad and stepmom got it for me when they were in Alaska. It's so gorgeous. I fucking love it. Ah! So yeah, it's this like, these are beautiful fall colors. It's like golden, little browns, some like purples, reds, oranges. It's just all fall colors, and this is how it's knitting up. So I was just looking for something quick to knit with it, and I wanted a cowl because I have a lot of like longer cowls, but I wanted like a single loop cowl that I could just kind of like over my head if I'm in a hurry. So this pattern is free, I think. I think it was free on Ravelry, and it's called River Deep Bulky? River Deep, right? River Deep Mountain High Bulky version. It only uses like 90 to 180 yards of bulky yarn, which is perfect because this is like 128. So yeah. I cast on an extra 10 stitches, so there is like a little weirdness where in the knit 2 purl 2s there's like one knit 4 at the seam, but like I don't care. That'll probably just go in the back, or people will just not notice. I just wanted it to be a little bit bigger because I got a big head. So, yeah, I love this. I can't wait till it's cold enough to wear this, and it'll match my yellow hat, and it's so cozy. This yarn is so squishy. I love it, and it's so pretty. So that'll be my little probably project to take along with me this weekend when I'm out and about, because yeah. Other things that I got. So we went to Harrisburg Mural Fest 2 weekends ago, I guess it was. And because I had just gone to like Harrisburg Flea and a couple other like artist market type things, I didn't want to spend a ton of money at this one, but I did spend some money there. So I got these sunglasses, sort of tinted glass things that are cool. I don't know. I probably spent too much money on them, but I thought they were cool, and now they live on my little mannequin head. I got this cool Deathly Hallows flower mabob, and that lives in my window up here. And this is from the Wildest Flowers. My friend actually is like doing work for them. But they do lots of cool pressed flower thingamajigs like this. And then I also got these buttons. So obviously not these two, I've had those, but this one and this one. So Maker's Gonna Make and Think Outside, no box required. So yeah, I thought those were cute, so I just added them to my little button collection over here. And then what else did I get? Oh, so one of my future projects, but also my new acquisition, the other yarn that they got me in Alaska is this one-of-a-kind, I think it's like, that's the company, and Northern Bee Studio hand-dyed, this is shawl sock. Why can't I say that word? Shawl sock, Super Rosh Merino, 85 yards per mini skein, and the colorway is Changing Tides. Taste of Alaska, I think it's called. Yeah, Taste of Alaska. So that's what this bundle is called, A Taste of Alaska. So look at these. The colors are so pretty. I love this combo. They picked this out for me while they were in Alaska. And then it came with a pattern. It's called Memories of Juneau. And it's this little shawl mabob. A nice little simple shawl. So yeah, I'm looking forward to knitting that. That was a fun little gift. Because I specifically said, can you get me some stuff that was done in Alaska? And they're like, well, there wasn't a lot that was like grown on animals in Alaska, but there is hand-dyed in Alaska and inspired by Alaska, which that was perfectly fine for me. The only thing that they could find that was like specifically just from Alaska was that quivit. I don't know how you pronounce it. Quivit. It's the like underdowny fiber from muskoxes, but it's like $125 for 1 ounce, which like I am not at all questioning that price. But that's just a little bit out of our price range. So maybe one day I will like spring for something that crazy. But for now, these were really wonderful gifts. And I am so thankful that, you know, they found me some cool stuff from their Alaska trip. So I love it. I love it. Darn Good Yarn came. Where did I put it? It's in here. I keep throwing stuff back here and then I don't know where I put stuff. So Darn Good Yarn this month, I don't mind it, but it's another one where there's not really enough yarn to do a full project, so I'm gonna have to figure something out. So this is the Sparkle Worsted Weight Silk Yarn in Midnight Sparkle. 50 grams, 75 yards, and it says worsted weight. So I do like these colors a lot. It's like an olive green, like a purpley blue, and a teal type blue. So that's pretty. But once again, only 75 yards of a worsted weight yarn. What am I going to do with that? I guess I could use it as an accent color. But as we found out recently, I don't actually have black. Don't know why I don't just have black yarn. I need some black yarn. I need some nicer black yarn. And then the little special gift is this cute little needle sizer mabob. I keep saying mabob today. I don't know why. This is nice. I mean, I have 2 different ones. The only one that I have in reach is this Susan Bates little metal one. I feel like everybody has one of these. But so this is a little bit of a nicer one. It doesn't have a gauge measurer on it, but I don't know. It's a little particle board. It's not even real wood. It's a particle board one. So I don't know. It's cute. I like the shape. I'll definitely use it. So not a bad little notion for this time. Not a bad little notion for this time. So yeah, as I said, I am kind of limiting myself this weekend so I don't buy too much stuff because I don't really have room for it and I have plenty of projects to work on. I don't actually need to buy that much yarn. So we'll see what I end up with, but I am looking forward to going to the Lehigh Valley Fiber Festival this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun to get to see all of the yarny stuff. The only other thing that I found that I might try to work on is this whip, I guess, kind of. It's not a knitting whip. There's a fly in my face. It's not a knitting whip, but it is a whip. This is from last year. I got these kits at a little craft fair that was at the church near my house. And yeah, yeah, I'm almost done with it. I think it's really pretty and I really like the colors, and I have another one of these too. It's just a little embroidery design to do, but I just keep forgetting about it. So yeah, I might try to push through and just finish it because I think it's just one more ring around the outside and then it's done. I think the only reason I had stopped was because I realized that I had miscounted somewhere possibly, and was deciding whether I was going to undo and fix my mistake or if I was just gonna finish it. I think I might just finish it and then figure out how to mount it on something. So yeah, I don't know. It's really pretty. I like it. I'm trying to think if I know where. I don't know where the other one is right now. No. All right, so delightful. So for delightful today, I wanted to talk about fall gardens. And so I'm going to take you outside in a minute, and I'll probably voice over it to show you my fall garden. Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick overview. I'm not going to talk about every single plant, just show you some of the cool stuff. Because there's also a lot of spiders outside and a lot of other bugs, and as much as I don't mind sitting out there by myself, I do scream if a grasshopper jumps on me or a cricket jumps on me, for example, and I'm trying to not disturb the spider, I'm letting her be, so I don't want to be distracted and screw up her web or something. So cut to the garden. So yeah, I'm really loving working on a fall garden. This is kind of what I have going right now. It's been hard. I've lost a lot of plants. I've had to think through things a little differently than I'm used to, and not be so determined to only have a bunch of different kinds of plants. Right now I have a lot of lettuce, as you can see, just a bunch of different varieties of lettuce, and various other little things to mess around with. So, to me, this made more sense than trying to force myself to grow things that I wouldn't necessarily do well at growing. And I'm not saying that I'm going to do great at growing these, but I have a couple broccoli plants just to try out, and they were given to me by my stepmom, so I was like, yeah, that's a fun experiment. They were started already, and I've got some ornamental stuff just to look pretty and that will last longer, even when it's getting chillier, but mostly lettuce because I know we'll eat it and I know that it will stay good pretty long. So yeah, herbs, lettuce, my one puny little sunflower, and a bunch of stuff. And the reason why I've been really enjoying working on the fall garden is because it's kind of unexpected. you go into stores now, and it's not like there's any garden stuff. It's more of a struggle. It's more of a challenge, and it's more time to keep learning. So one of the things that I've been kind of pondering on more recently is the concept of like a season of learning. So I was a little like down on myself about my garden and like, oh, you know, I can't really do this and I can't really do that, and maybe what I'm doing right now isn't worth it, but it is. And one of the channels that's really been helping me with like that attitude is Roots and Refuge. Jess from Roots and Refuge does talk a lot about, you know, seizing the moment that you're in and using it as a learning experience and not diminishing what you're able to do in the current moment, because, you know, if you do just kind of like accept it as a time of learning, then you can learn a lot and you can make a lot of progress and set yourself up for some really good growing seasons in the future. So that's what I really try to do this year, is kind of be optimistic, you know, be realistic, and even sometimes be a little unrealistic about the stuff that I was planning just for the sake of science, you know, like just messing around and just like throwing seeds into a pot and seeing what happens. And that's been really, really fun. So yeah, I think fall gardens are kind of amazing because you get to get a little bit more out of the season. You can actually grow some stuff that a lot of people think you can only grow in the spring. So like I have beans and peas and carrots. You know, you think of carrots probably as a fall thing. So I have carrots and turnips, some of the stuff that, you know, was coming out a lot during the spring. You can now plant those again and get another harvest of them out again. Some people will grow more tomatoes. I didn't really have any luck with that. But yeah, this just suffice to say that, you know, fall is still a good time to grow. And even if you didn't start a garden in the spring, you have plenty of time before your first frost to be able to get some stuff, and you can even keep some stuff past your first frost depending on where you live. So yeah, I think it's wonderful to be able to still be able to experience my garden at this point in the year and still be able to enjoy it and learn more from it. My first frost is the middle of October, so I am running out of time. I think some of the stuff I'll be able to extend with my little greenhouse that I have out there, and the rest of it, you know, I'll get what I can and then get ready for next year. So yeah. So now just to some little bit of ribble rabble. Now just for some, I did just call this section rabble in my notebook. Is that what I called it before? Rambles and rabbles. So Habitica is great. So I guess the kind of like knitting my shit together crew has been on Habitica, and I used Habitica last year around my wedding. So if you don't know, Habitica is an app that kind of gamifies habits. So when you check off your list or check off your habit or a daily thing that you want to do, you get points and you can level up your character like a video game, which motivates me so much. So yeah, I've been really embracing that. I've been using it as my checklist. So every time that I check something off my little checklist, I get some experience, and I've been keeping up with stuff a lot around my house, like stuff that usually falls prey to executive dysfunction. I've been able to keep up with it a little bit better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but if I say, hey, you really need to take out the trash, and I put it on my checklist, knowing that I get some points has actually motivated me pretty well to like actually do that, more than just the fact that the trash needs to be taken out, because that doesn't actually motivate me that much. So yeah, I've been enjoying using Habitica for my checklist, and I've been creating some really good habits using that. So good stuff. I don't know, I wrote a bunch of notes here about stuff I wanted to talk about, and now I'm realizing that I don't want to talk about it that much. I've been playing video games too, which I say I've been playing video games. I played video games this weekend for the first time in a while too. I definitely have this problem with feeling like even my free relaxing time needs to be used for something productive, which is why I got so into knitting. Not to say that like I need to lay off the knitting, but more like if I don't want to knit and I want to play video games instead in a day, like that's okay. I don't have to have a product of what I'm doing. I don't have to be doing something useful. You're allowed to just like do stuff that's fun. It's okay. No pressure, man. Just do something that's fun. Do something you enjoy. So that's something I need to work on, definitely. But I have been. So Borderlands 3 came out, and like the Borderlands series is one of my favorite. It's funny as hell. The writing is amazing. It's fun. So I played with my dad and my friend Chris this weekend, and it was so much fun, and hopefully I'll be able to play a little more with them this weekend. I am going to the Renaissance Fair and that Fiber Festival, so we'll see how late I get home, because I am ancient on the inside and do like to go to bed early. I am an early to sleep, early to rise, early to bed, early to rise kind of person, so we'll see how much I can get in this weekend, but definitely next weekend, because I may be alone. So another thing that I'm really excited about that's coming up in the next few months is NaNoWriMo. So if you're not familiar with NaNoWriMo, it is the National Novel Writing Month. So people, like, I'm pretty sure all over the world will dedicate the month of November to writing a 50,000 word novel. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be a good draft. A lot of the times it ends up being very stream of consciousness, but it is a really good practice in writing. It's a really good, like, vigorous practice in writing. So it can be difficult at times for those of us who have a full-time job, or, you know, are already going to school, or do both like I did the one year. So there have been years that I failed, and there's been years that I succeeded, but I take it as just kind of like a little exercise in writing, because I miss writing a lot. So I do have some plans. I think I might write a ghost story, which I'm excited about. I don't know if I'm ever going to publish anything that I've written on Nano. I do want to at least self-publish a book at some point in my lifetime, just because it's one of those goals of mine. I've always wanted people to say I am a writer. So maybe I'll pick one of them one year and like rewrite it during Nano, or I think there's like a revision version of Nano, like for a month you revise an old one. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm excited. So if anyone else is doing NaNoWriMo this year, let me know, and I'll add you as a friend, and we can be writing buddies. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, spending some time with me. I hope you have a wonderful week, or at least a serviceable week, if you can pull that out. And I will see you next week then. Bye!